Warning: the following episode contains sensitive content that may be harmful or disturbing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody. From Unsigned Pop Punk, I am Patrick Tarnowski. With me is my longtime friend, Joe Alspa, and Jay Lewis. This is Classified Rockuments, a show about crazy murders and the crimes in the music world where we talk about the facts, try to decode any conspiracies, and just have a creepy good time.
Let's dive into some mystery, shall we?
Yes. So for our listeners, we have added fake facts into this. It's up to you to figure those out, and it's up to Joe to figure that out.
I'm an expert.
Today, we are going to talk about the life and murder case of Mia Zapata. Joe, do you know who that is? Have you heard of
her? She makes like really, really great artisanal rice, correct?
Yes.
That's spot on, dude.
Actually.
Podcast over.
Podcast over. So you know the whole story then.
Right, yeah, totally.
Well,
wasted the whole week, guys.
Cut it. We're good.
Yeah.
This is a story and murder that has been a subject of episodes of investigation on the Discovery Channel series Dead of Night, Unsolved Mysteries, 48 Hours, and the documentary The Gits. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I was born ready.
You're born ready. So let's start then. Let's just hop into it. On August 25th, 1965, a few months after Malcolm X is gunned down while giving a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, operating Rolling Thunder in the Vietnam War, and the musical number Chim Chim Cheree from Mary Poppins takes home an Oscar for Best Song. Yeah, Joe. That fucking song. Okay. Mia Catherine Zapata was born in Chicago, Illinois. Aren't you so stoked that you already have like those like ingrained? You have like those events.
He doesn't even remember the year.
That's a lot.
Those
Mia
are
Zapata, good... Jordan, New Orleans. Like, yeah, she's a member of the parliament. I got it all. It's all locked in.
Mia and her family moved from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky because, well, it was Chicago. In Louisville, Mia attended high school at Presentation Academy, where she learned to play both guitar and piano by the age of 9. No dolls and tea parties. Mia submersed herself into music. I wish I did dolls and tea parties. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
With a guitar?
And music.
Yeah, I mean, like, that'd be a pretty lit tea party in general. Just like, yo, you ever heard this one? Yeah.
She was influenced by punk rock as well as jazz, blues, and R&B singers such as Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, Jimmy Reed, Ray Charles, Hank Williams, and Sam Cooke. Zapata came from an affluent family, but often lived without material comforts. As her father described it, Mia lived in two different worlds. She lived on two different sides of the street. The straight side on one, with parochial schools, an affluent family, and tennis clubs. But when she crossed the street, material things didn't mean anything to her. Zapata's music often led to a rejection of financial comfort, but regardless of status, Valerie Agnew describes Mia as commanding respect and interest immediately. In 1984, Zapata enrolled in Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio, as a liberal arts student.
He's taking notes.
Are you taking notes right now?
I'm gonna try it.
Well, you probably have to. Have you even seen like how many like fake facts have you missed so far?
Probably 2.
I don't think there's any yet.
I don't think there's any either.
I don't think there's been any.
Maybe 1.
Maybe it was the Chim Chim Cheree, wasn't it?
That was the one that got me. Yeah.
It's not though. That was real.
That's real.
That was a real fact.
Okay.
It was a real fact.
Not doing great so far. Maria Zapata.
Mia Zapata.
Mia.
That's a fake name. Yes.
Yeah.
Zapata.
He's creating
Got
his
it.
own fake facts right now.
From Chi-Town.
Yep.
Moved to
Chi-Town.
New Orleans.
No.
Okay.
Chi-Town.
Where'd she move?
Chicago.
No. She moved away from Chicago.
No, she moved to Chicago.
From
Louisville, Kentucky.
From Louisville.
There you go.
On the end, I want to see Joe's notes. Because there's no way he wrote all that down. I heard like 3 scribbles.
We'll find out.
He's just drawing pictures right now.
Okay. I've got all the printer paper I need in front of me, so we can just like make a nest if we want to.
All
right.
caveman sketches he's doing.
Okay. Yeah.
In September of 1986, she and 3 friends she had met formed the punk rock band The Gits. They named themselves the Sniveling Little Rat-Faced Gits, which was a reference to a Monty Python skit.
Okay.
But soon shortened the moniker to just The Gits. The band included guitarist Andrew Joe Spleen Kessler.
Good Lord.
Because Joe is short for Andrew. And he was resembling a fist-sized organ when he stood up.
Could you repeat that name for me?
So the guitarist was Andrew Joe Spleen, quotes here.
Joe Spleen.
Yeah, so Andrew Joe Spleen Kessler, because Joe is short for Andrew, and he resembled a fist-sized organ when he stood up straight, shocking folks and terrifying children every day besides Halloween.
So man resembled a spleen standing up.
Yeah. You got drummer Steve Moriarty, cousin of the fictional supervillain James Moriarty, and bassist.
Wait, who's that?
Who?
the fictional supervillain.
Have you never watched Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes.
What's that? No, I'm kidding. I know what Sherlock Holmes is.
What's
that?
that?
Is that based off the new movie or based off the actual?
I'm pretty sure Moriarty is just the forever villain of Sherlock Holmes.
That is the opposite of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. So that's like he's like the Dr. Evil of the Sherlock Holmes. Like
I was gonna go with Joker and Batman, but yep.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Bassist Matt Dresner. A few years later, Ohio wasn't working out anymore when a teenage gang called the Sharks, recent migrants from Puerto Rico, moved into the neighborhood ran by the Jets gang. When Tony, a former member of the Jets and best friend of the gang's leader, Riff, falls in love with Maria, the sister of Bernardo, the leader of the Sharks. All hell broke loose, and Mia and the band no longer have band practice with all the musical numbers in the streets. So the band decided to move to Seattle.
Okay, hold on. No. This is West Side Story. Yeah, so they're out there just having a fucking musical time. That
was the whole plot.
Maria Zapata. For fucking New Orleans. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was the whole plot of West Side Story.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You got it. So the band, realistically, the band decided to move to Seattle to engage in the city's burgeoning music scene, minus the extended street dances. With no time, the Gits had developed a following amidst the local underground punk scene. Although the group was 75% men, the band as a whole and Zapata in particular became popular amongst the feminist community of Seattle. Zapata found a job at a local bar, and the 4 band members moved into an abandoned house they called the Rat House.
1 T or 2 T's for the Rat House?
1 T, Rat.
Okay, got it.
But 2 T's would be even better.
There was another band in that house, yes.
I'm just saying, this could go round and round. So.
In 1998 or 1988, they recorded and self-released their unofficial debut album titled Private Loves with the help of friend Ben London. These recordings did not see widespread release until 1996, when the album was reissued by the Broken Re-Kids label as Kings and Queens. In 1990, after the move to Seattle, the Gits...
Whoa, hold on. We went from... Okay, never mind. We're good.
Yep,
keep going.
Okay.
1990.
Yeah, 1990, after the move to Seattle, the Gits went on a successful international tour without the support of a record label. They survived the road by doing odd jobs on their way, cleaning dishes, road stop diners, mowing lawns, grave robbing, you name it. The band's first official release was Precious.
I know when I'm out with like a group of friends, like the first thing I think about is like, what do we do tonight? Like I'm bored. Like
we need to make money. Well, you make money.
Right. I mean, we've got shovels. So
yeah, I think the last time me and Joe were out, I think we were like, dude, you know what should happen right now? We're kind of drunk. Let's do some manual labor.
Yeah. Well, you sell those bodies to science, back to science. That's how you make your money. Science.
I keep them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have a lampshade to die for right now.
I mean, who's to judge? we all are just here doing our own thing. So like,
right.
Don't get straight to it. It's just
don't knock it until you get straight to it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The band's first official release was Precious Blood, released by the local Big Flaming Ego Records. This single was quickly followed up by two more releases, Second Skin on Broken Re-Kids in 1991, and Spear and Magic Helmet on Empty Records.
Spear and Magic Helmet!
Yeah. As well as the Bobbing for Pavement compilation.
Jesus Christ. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
In 1990...
That's a lot of releases, by the way.
Right. Especially in the 90s,
Right, okay.
Right. In 1992, Batman the Animated Series debuted, and the Gits released their debut album, Frenching the Bully. The album had such hits as You're Gonna Love This, Another Shot of Whiskey, Second Skin, and this is my favorite, Here's to Your Fuck, receiving positive reviews. The Gits played everywhere along the West Coast, sharing bills with Nirvana, Sublime, Beck, and Green Day. By 1993, the Gits were finishing their second album and were slated to play their first ever gig in New York City. Atlantic Records made an offer to sign the Gits. The band was getting better and better, stated Andrew Kessler, sitting down so not to look like a fist-size organ. The live shows seem to be getting more...
Okay, I have to call bullshit on him looking like a spleen.
Yeah.
Because not to say I haven't seen somebody who looks like a spleen.
Sure.
Recently, at least. Okay. But how do you play a bass if you're shaped like a spleen?
There's no pictures of them. There's only just hand sketches.
There's only hand sketches of this person from the 90s. Right, okay.
Full on photo.
Got it. Okay, yeah, sure. For sure.
There's no images of him. They're all just like fucking paintings and hand-drawn sketches.
Every time the band had like a promotional photo, it was the band minus one person and then a sketch.
Is that real? Are you for real?
Yeah, it's in the notes.
Oh.
The
live shows seemed to be getting more and more intense. It was continually moving upward, continued Kessler. Throughout the recording of the second album, the band had planned a large U.S. and European tour, as well as many local shows, all while being courted by various record labels. Major labels wanted them. They offered big money contracts, cars, houses, young German boys for their day-to-day errands. Once the album was finally done, the Gits went on to become the biggest and most loved band of all time. Nothing bad ever happened in the world again. The Gits gave peace to the Middle East, solved world hunger, stopped global warming, and told the weather to stop trying to kill us. There's no more online bullying. They brought back slap bracelets and quill pens. The world loved the world again, but one man didn't want this. He wanted chaos. On the evening of July 6, 1993, Mia Zapata was out drinking with her friends at the Comet Tavern in Seattle's Capitol Hill area. Her friend Agnew recalls Zapata being in good spirits after she recently performed a solo show in Los Angeles. Zapata reportedly left the bar around midnight to look for her former boyfriend, Robert Jenkins, stepdad to the impulsive and impatient Leroy, who always gave him all the chicken he would ever need during gaming online.
Okay, hold on. I gained a little too much to accept the fact that she was the daughter of Leroy Jenkins. So I'm going to go ahead and just call a stop on that one there. But I'll let you. Leroy! All right, I'll let you finish.
I mean, you got the false fact pointed out, but yeah, didn't get it right at all.
Right.
So she was looking for her boyfriend, Robert Jenkins, at a rehearsal space located in an apartment building about a block away from the bar. When she found that he wasn't home, Zapata went to a friend's apartment in the same building where she stayed until about 2 a.m. This was the last time she would be seen alive. She was seen dead a whole lot more after this.
A whole lot more.
It's not known what Zapata did for the 80 minutes after she left the building. She may have either walked to a taxi stand or went to find Jenkins at another house where he was for sure doing something involved chicken. Around 3:20 a.m., a prostitute by the name of Silly Slide McGriff was walking in the central area almost 2 miles from the Comet. She noticed Zapata's body lying on a deserted street near the intersection of 24th Avenue South and South Washington Street. Efforts by medics to revive the singer were unsuccessful. It was later discovered that she was raped and strangled to death with the cords of a Gits sweatshirt she was wearing. All of that's fucked, but she was fucking like strangled with her own band sweatshirt.
By Silly Slide McGuff.
No. No,
that's the prostitute.
That's the prostitute. She found her. Her body was not initially identified, as she had no identification on her when she was found. An episode of the cable television show Forensic Files revealed that she was identified after the medical examiner, who was a fan of the Gits and had been to their concerts, recognized her. According to the medical examiner, if she had not been strangled, she would have died from the internal injuries suffered from the beating. According to court documents, an autopsy found evidence of a struggle in which Zapata suffered blunt impact to her abdomen and lacerated liver. When Zapata didn't show up for a recording session at the studio later that morning, concerned friends contacted the hospital and then the police. Then somebody had the nerve to call the morgue, Moriarty recalls.
Wait, how long was she late to this recording session? Because I know with us, like, I've been 3-4 hours late. At what point do you guys call the police when I don't show up?
A year or two, for sure.
Yeah, it's really tough because you will go like days, weeks without responding sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, this was 1993, so if you said you're going to be somewhere, people got worried when you weren't there.
Right.
There was a text saying, hold on.
Right. Significantly different. When Moriarty called the morgue, the medical examiner said, "It's your singer. I'm sorry. You should get someone to come down and identify her." The Seattle Police Department initially focused their investigation on Zapata's circle of friends, believing that her murderer must have been someone she knew. This includes Mia's boyfriend, Robert, her bandmates, Andrew, a fist-sized organ and guitarist Kessler, Steve, I Hate Sherlock Holmes, and drummer Moriarty, and Matt Dresder, the bassist. All had been cleared after questioning after investigators. With not much happening in the case, using funds generated by the Seattle music community from benefit shows and CDs, as well as their own money from those side jobs we mentioned earlier. The remaining band members hired private investigator Lee Heron to supplement the police department's investigation. For over 3 years, Heron and the Seattle Police Department investigated the crime with few or no breaks in the case. For 3 years.
That's government money going to good use there.
In 1996, the investigation first gained national attention in an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It, however, did not open any new leads. The case was later highlighted on several other TV shows, including A&E's American Justice, Cold Case Files, City Confidential, CBS's 48 Hours, Fox's America's Most Wanted, and True TV's Forensic Files. That's a lot of TV shows going around with one case and not fucking finding anything.
I'm pretty sure I saw a Sesame Street thing too on that as well.
Well, Berkeley one, I think it's pulled now.
Yeah, that's one of the unaired episodes or the pulled episodes now.
Right, yeah.
Right. The funds dried up without any major breaks in the case, but the investigator, Lee Heron, continued to investigate on her own time. In 1998, after 5 years of investigation, Seattle Police Detective Dale Tallman said, "We're no closer to solving the case than we were right after the murder." Other than the drawstrings from Zapata's sweatshirt as the murder weapon, there were no visible clues from the crime scene, including fingerprints and perpetrator blood or semen. And with no eyewitnesses who came forward, the case challenged investigators. 9 years now, Joe. 9 years have passed. Then, a major break occurred in December of 2002, when the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab ran a DNA check based on preserved swabs of saliva collected from Zapata's body 9 years earlier and came up with a match. So now, 2002, we could test saliva. Finally, we're out of the dark ages.
What did she lick?
Why did she
licked her? Someone licked her.
Oh, got it.
They already know who she is.
Oh, sure. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, we know who Zapata is.
Yeah, they found the body.
Yeah.
Right.
So Mia's murder happened in 1993, and something else happened that year too. Carrie Mullis won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for inventing a technique known as polymerase chain reaction. I believe that's how you say it. Polymerase chain reaction, making it possible to perform DNA tests on very small samples like the one taken from Mia's body. Once the DNA is collected, it is placed in a CODIS, which is Combined DNA Index System, a nationwide computerized database with every criminal's DNA in the United States. Joe, do you think you are in there from your time when you jumped over that car?
They made me spit for a multitude of different reasons, but I imagine one of those reasons was
to enter you into
was
the
to
CODIS.
enter me into the CODIS. Yeah. So
One was more personal.
What
Right,
did you say
right.
you were doing when you ran over that car? Now, and by run over the car, I mean physically, like with his body. What'd you
I was
say?
gonna
you were doing?
fucking Dukes of Hazzard. that
Dukes of
bitch.
Hazzard. Yeah, that's what it was. You were Dukes of Hazzard. This shit.
Yep.
They used less legs and less arms like they did in the show, but Joe went
Yeah.
all in.
He went all in.
If I know anything about Joe, Joe goes hard.
All torso.
This technique found Mia Zapata's murderer almost a decade later and over 3,000 miles away. Jesus Mesquia, a fisherman living in Florida, a Cuban who came to the U.S. during the 1980 Mariel boat lift, which was a mass emigration of Cubans who traveled from Cuba's Mariel Harbor to the United States between the 15th of April and 31st of October, 1980.
All right. So what I've got is Jesus man boat Cuban. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Jesus man Cuban.
I think Joe is just writing down half words of what you're saying because I can see your words and scribble.
Who are you to say how much of this I retain? I have 3 pages so far.
Right. All right.
It's more than I wrote.
No, he wrote, there are 8 pages. He
Got
took
it.
my 3 pages and created 8 pages. It's impressive. Jesus hot dog buns. Oh, Jesus hot dog buns. Jesus hot dog buns. Mesquia's history of violence towards women included domestic abuse, burglary, assault, and battery. All of his ex-girlfriends and his wife. Yes, that's correct. This ugly motherfucker piece of shit had a wife. They'd all filed reports against him. Once in the United States, Mesquia reportedly had a criminal history that included robbery, kidnapping, and aggravated battery. His DNA sample was entered into the National Data Bank, CODIS, after he was arrested in Florida for burglary and domestic abuse in 2002. This led to Mesquia being arrested and brought to trial for the murder of Mia Zapata. On March 25th, 2004, after deliberating for just 3 days, the jury found Mesquia guilty. He was later given a stiff sentence by Judge Sharon Armstrong of 37 years in prison, exceeding the maximum amount because of the particularly painful injuries that Zapata suffered. Jesus Mesquia, age 66, died in a hospital in Pierce County, Washington on January 21st, 2021. But his death was only recently confirmed by the Washington State Department of Corrections. No cause of death was revealed.
Jesus was found guilty in March 25th, 2004 by Judge Sharon Osborne. 66. I don't remember what I have 66.
By Judge Sharon Osborne, wife of Ozzy Osbourne.
I mean, just multi-talented.
Yeah.
I have 66 did January 1st, 2021. What does that mean?
What?
I wrote down 66 did January 21st,
Code
2021.
your own notes.
Okay. He
What does
died,
that mean?
He was 66 years old when he died on
Died.
January 21st.
Okay, yep. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep, got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
The notes read at age. Or no,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It just says
So,
at
But
age.
let's be real. We know what he died from. He was in jail. He was a rapist.
Murdered with a penis.
In the aftermath of Zapata's murder, well, people in jail they don't take kindly to rapists. They
when in Rome.
when in Rome. In the aftermath of Zapata's murder, friends created a self-defense group called Home Alive, not to be mistaken for Home Alone. The Home Alive group's instructors offered a range of courses from anger management and use of pepper spray to the martial arts. And that is another classified Rockument.
Whoa.
All right, let's hear your notes.
Okay. So, Mia Zapata, born in 1965 from Louisville, moved to Chi-Town. She started a band in 1986 with 3 friends called the Gits. There's a guy who looked like a spleen who played bass for them.
Well,
They lived in the...
played guitar. Yep.
Okay,
Yep, all packs.
guitar. I gotta revise my notes.
Right.
Okay.
He was guitar, right, Jay?
Okay, they lived in the Rat House, and
They did, yeah.
they did an album called Private Love with a guy named Ben London and a shark.
Very close, very close.
Okay.
Lub. It's a L-U-B, Private Lub.
Okay, page 2.
Okay.
The fuck does that say? Big Flamingo? Does that make sense?
No.
They made Precious Boots in 1990. Or Precious Bloods?
Precious
That was
Blood.
an album
Yeah.
of theirs.
Okay.
Precious Boots.
You were so busy writing, you were half listening.
28 years old. What I have is Cam It Tav. I don't know.
Comet Tavern.
Comet Tavern. Okay, got it.
It looks like when you're showing, but on the back it looks like there's like math and shit. Like
her boyfriend Robert, and they question. Okay, so she was murdered. She was found by a hooker named Sadie Slick Pants or something like that.
Very close.
That is better. Yeah, that's better.
Sadie Slick Pants.
Actually,
which was a lie. Which was a lie. It was a lie.
Yeah. What? So Jay, was that real? Did you name that person?
I named the prostitute. Yeah.
So she was found by a prostitute, but Jay named her.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, well, there's no name for the prostitute because the police have priorities.
In the investigation, the band and her boyfriend Robert were questioned and cleared.
Yep.
No more details on that.
You have some actually pretty good notes, though.
Did you just say her and her boyfriend were cleared?
No, the band and her boyfriend.
The band and her boyfriend.
I was like, wait.
So
it's her.
She was cleared. She was
investigator Lee Heron.
I would never rule out suicide.
Investigated the case for 3 years with no leads. Dale Talman got no closer.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Yep.
Another investigation. Okay.
That was the detective.
The murder weapon was the drawstrings from a hoodie of her own band's merch that she was wearing, which I might be controversial for saying this, but very tacky to wear your own band's merch. But it was the 90s, so 9 years later, in 2002. Okay, this is fucked here. 9 years later, here's what it says for me. So 9 years later, in 2002, in 1993, Nobel Prize winner developed a polymarina death reaction. No, hold on. Polymarine chain reaction. Like it's a test, so you can test like saliva and shit.
Death reaction is best.
And okay, so after all this was done with, she was found 3,000 miles away.
No, wait, hold on. Before death reaction.
Okay, hold on. No, I got this.
So good.
Okay, so no. 3,000 miles away, they found Jesus, and this man was Cuban, unbeknownst to many. He had a history of violence towards women, and he had sweet ass cheeks. In March 25th, 2004, the judge, Sharon Osbourne, found him guilty of 66 years old being that age, so she killed him. And then have alive AD.
Yeah.
Then she did the band did an album with Fleetwood Mac, and they did Evil Stag.
Than Joan Jett.
Anger management. Okay, so then afterwards there was a defense improvement put into place by self-defense teachers to include pepper spray in the martial arts regiment, and that's where I've left.
But all of that,
Case closed.
Write down the word regiment.
The recreation of the baseman. Who's the spleen?
I mean, I'm very impressed with the amount that you actually retained in those notes. I mean, obviously certain details were completely sideways. It was obviously not Sharon Osbourne.
Okay. So I think that DNA evidence is pretty hard to refute.
Right.
So I am willing to put Jesus at the top of the list of people at fault for this.
Oh, I'm sure that he's just atrocity on top of atrocity. He didn't seem to care about anything because he kept getting away with it. He would get reported for these crimes, but then just able to go make more crimes. So
And that's the dream.
that's
Yeah.
the dream, right? And on that note of living the dream, this has been another episode of Classified Rockuments, and let's fucking dive into some more shit next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so saith me.
So saith me.
Jesus was the killer. I've solved this, and I think that this really comes down to teamwork and really, really great note taking. If it wasn't for the excellent intel you guys have provided me, along with my steadfast note taking and just quick on my feet thinking, I don't think we would have ever solved this case. So I appreciate you all for giving me the tools I needed to do this poor woman justice.
Yep.
Single-handedly.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.